Nice. So, um, this run is basically just trying to get one heart container. Um, Now, in Spirit Tracks, unfortunately, there isn't too much interesting stuff you can do with it. The first heart container you can get is just beat the first dungeon. There isn't another one that, like, you don't even have access to another heart container until you beat Forest Temple. So this run is just going to be beat Forest Temple, but there's still some fun stuff I can do, so. Um, so, before I start, oh, I should, hold on. Post this. Okay, so, this run, a few things. I mean, so, you may notice I'm playing on English, which, there is a reason for this. It's really, really small. In general, I would say for for this category, and for the short Spirit Tracks categories, the language doesn't really matter. Technically, I actually think English is faster in this by like 2 seconds, so, for doing English. So, yeah. Let's begin. There was actually, one, literally, okay, funny story about English though. That one text box, that's actually a little bit slower on English. He takes a second to pause and say scoot, which actually is different on Japanese. He doesn't have a delay in his text, so that text box specifically is slower on English, but there's text box later on that are faster. You look good, thank you. So yeah, we basically just had to do the intended gameplay sequence for most of this run. I think Alfonso has another text box right there. So this is on Wii U VC. So this is the Wii U emulator. The reason we play on Wii U is just because, for one, it's easy to capture, because it's a home console, and then it's also the fastest version. This is faster than emulator too, because emulator doesn't have very fast loads. Yeah, so this run is weird in the sense that, okay, it's kind of unfortunate, I actually say. There are this run is very close to being interesting. Like, if it weren't for the Forest Temple Heart Container being so early, this would actually be a very, very interesting run. The route, at least, would be very interesting. Because, besides dungeon heart containers, pretty much every heart container in this game is, like, weirdly out of the way. So, this one, unfortunately, is just kind of easy, though. Two heart containers next. Two heart containers is really interesting. I'm pretty sure what it would be you beat Forest Temple, and then you go and you do take them all on with at Castletown, which would be kind of a fun route. I mean, it wouldn't be very long. It's not too complex. After that, 3 heart containers is really interesting, because the next available heart container for you to get is either bunnies, which I don't think you can get enough bunnies for that, or you can buy the 2,000 rupee one at Snow Sanctuary, which, like, a theoretical route where you have to get 2,000 rupees before Snow Sanctuary is so interesting. Also, probably impossible. I don't even think you can do that. I actually think you need to go a little bit later just to even get that much money. But just even theorizing about like how you can get a route to get that much money would be really, really cool. So I think an interesting category would be 4 heart containers, or like 3 or 4, because then you'd probably do Forest Temple, take them all on. You'd grind money the entire run, and then you get Snow Temple heart container. You do all those, and then that's how you those are probably the 4 fastest. But anyway, it's interesting. All heart containers run of this game would be really interesting too. There's a lot of weird heart containers in this game, so. Alright. So that was the beginning. This is just traditional Spirit Tracks, Spirit Tracks intro stuff. So you get to Castletown. Again, we just had to do the intended progression sequence. Nothing interesting here. If you've seen a Spirit Track speedrun before. Get this mailman trigger that's annoyingly difficult to skip. It's the only time you ever have to talk to the mailman in, like an any % run, but you just can't skip this, like, the trigger is humongous, and it never goes away, so you'll never, even if you did do a skip, you'd probably have to talk to him twice, so it wouldn't even be worth it. What's funny about English, about languages in this game, English does have a couple pause. Like, it's weird because each language they pause at different points in the text. I'm pretty sure JP actually loses time later on in the run to pauses, where English loses the time earlier in the run. Like, there's the first couple like areas have slowed down text boxes, so there is another thing that makes English faster for this run, though. I'll talk about it when we get there. So the next sequence is going to be the first instance of like RNG in the run. So these guards have random their movement. They have like 3. The bottom one is a set path. The top one can choose one of 3 things to do. If he gives me the bad option, then we have to. He did not give me the bad option. He can instantly start moving, and then he'll catch Zelda. So. In that case, we have to wait, but we have to reset it, but they are giving me the good RNG. It's not a big time, it's like a 10-second time loss if he gives you bad RNG, but... Alright, and this segment is a little bit funky, but... like the first, like, moving Zelda with you section. Yeah, that segment is a little tricky. Getting Zelda to move quickly, like, it's hard to multitask, but there's a few tricks you can do there. There's also, it's kind of tricky because you probably don't even notice it because I skipped them, but there's actually a couple text triggers that you need to avoid there. Like, for the last guard, if I move Zelda too far before distracting the last guard, she'll actually like do a little cutscene. But if you just don't move her far enough and then trigger him, the cutscene gets skipped. So there's a couple like awkward things that you need to watch out for there. But alright, rip Alfonso. Thank you for the good luck, Grey Goblin. And Pecan. It's kind of unfortunate that like this game doesn't really have many potential. This early game is pretty set. It's hard to skip anything in this early game. Even if you do like a like pretty much until you beat Forest Temple, this game is very like strict in what you can and can't do. It really like brings you on like a straight line to Forest Temple. Once you beat it, then you kind of have more freedom. Get the sword. It's annoying that you have to talk to that guy first, but you do. Otherwise, the guard just won't even like start the training. But oh, it's wait, I forgot. There's a little trick here you can do. Oh, I missed it. I got a second spin attack, but if you roll into the trigger, you can actually just escape the guard training early. You can do a little setup to get the back hit of a spin attack to hit the other guard, and then if you don't do 2 spins, you can escape. Hope this case isn't annoying. Yeah, it is. Things in this game are really frustrating because their movement is completely random and very fast, and it's hard to like do anything about them usually. So she was in a bad spot. Generally, the best strat to like deal with enemies in this game is just ignore them. But here it's kind of difficult. They can just be in your way. Not get a heart. I don't really want to go into Power Spears with 1 heart. Let's get a little bit of insurance. Not gonna get it though. So that's the first little like mini dungeon. Then we get our first like actual dungeon. So we have to do the first floor of the Tower of Spirits for this run, because that gives us access to Forest Temple. So, though before we actually do that, we need to do a little bit of, like we need to actually like activate Tower 1, which just takes a little minute. One is whole dramatic. They want to like do the dramatic reveal of the Phantom, and then you have to run away from it, but. And even if you could, so I feel like I've tried before. Like if you can get past that Phantom and maybe go into the next sequence, for one, you can't get past that Phantom. Like you basically can't. But unfortunately, there also the Tears of Light just don't spawn until the Phantom's dead, or until you like do the little reset. So unfortunately, probably gonna have to do this. Like, trying to come up with skips for this game is interesting, because, like, there are some spots where it looks like you can do something. A lot of the time, you just kind of can't. Because, like, one thing doesn't really work out, but for this, like, that, you just couldn't even get the Tears of Light, so. Alright, so next up is kind of a fun room. There's a couple little tricks you can do here. First part is we just need to get that switch, and then we need Zelda to stand on this switch. So this next part's fun. There's a block in this next room, and blocks are kinda jank in this game, and we actually can do a couple glitches with them. This rat can cooperate. I'm gonna bring Zelda here. Look for a rat to spawn. It's a little precise. I have to wait for the rat cycle, so. If you do a well-timed roll while Zelda is pushing a block into a wall, you can basically clip Link onto the block. And then you can use that to walk over those spikes. Because on Zelda's back, you can just pretty much walk over everything. So that's a nice little fast way to get through Tower 1. So now, upcoming is also the reason that I think English is faster for this run. So I have no idea why. It's completely random, but the cutscene of picking up these rail maps, for some reason, it's like 4 seconds faster on English. Because if you see there where like the map zoomed in, on Japanese, for some reason the map, like it has to fully zoom in and then play the entire cutscene and then you can skip it. Where on English, you literally just, like, you can just keep mashing and it'll skip the entire little animation. And it just skips, like, about 4 seconds of cutscene. So, it's just kind of a nice little thing. So, like, and the fun thing is that actually happens to every single rail map cutscene, which means, Towers 1 through 4 are all faster on English, because you can do that little cutscene skip, so. Actually, 4, I don't think it matters, but, 1, 2, and 3 are all faster on English. We get our actual train, actually giving us overworld access. But The unfortunate part, again, is this game doesn't really like you doing things out of order at this point. Um, the only thing you can theoretically do right now that could get you a heart container would be, in Whittleton, there's the whip game, which does deliver it does give you a heart container, except you don't have the whip, so that doesn't really work. Um, Take them all on doesn't open until you beat Forest Temple, because you need the Whirlwind for it, so that's not really happening. Sword trading doesn't unlock till later. Um, and that's pretty much it in Forest Realm that you can access. Um, so, now, if this game will also get 4 heart pieces. Now, this game also has heart containers, not pieces, and that's kind of why there aren't a lot of them in the overworld. And unfortunately, all of the heart containers in this game are just kind of spaced out in a way that, like, they're all difficult to get in some way. And there's not a lot of them, too. There's only... I'm trying to think. This game has 16 hearts in total, and 5 of them come from dungeons. So, there's 8 overworld heart containers. I think 4 of them come from minigames. One of them comes from Rabbit Lane Rescue. One of them comes from End of the Earth Station. One of them comes from Beetle Shop, and the last one comes from the Snow Sanctuary Shop. So there just aren't a lot of overworld heart containers in this game, so you just kind of gotta go with the dungeon ones. And of course, the minigames just don't unlock till later. Like, I mean, we have Whittleton access; we could go there, but without the whip or a way to reach whip game, you just kind of really can't do anything. So this is actually kind of, I think, a recent discovery. I don't think we knew this until recently, but so next up is this like Lostwood section, and it's just a maze, and you just have to follow like tree branches where they point. The cool thing that I don't think we knew for a while is that how long this area takes is actually random. Certain paths are faster than others, so yeah, this is for the Pippi video, Brandino. Certain paths are actually faster than others for this segment. The main one is, I actually think getting four right turns in a row is the optimal path. So yeah, it's interesting because I think it saves like 2 to 4 seconds or something if you get the optimal one versus not. So anyway, this area is a little more RNG than it looks. I used to think this was just an auto-scroller, but it's not. It's pretty random. So it's a 1 in 32 if you get the perfect RNG, I believe. Because it's just 4 coin flips in a row. It's a cool little strat you can do. You can throw a bomb down, hit this, and you have barely enough time to get the bomb to the blocks. So, bombs have pretty long fuses in this game. This puzzle's already like preset; it never changes. So, if I can get one, there we go. first and only duet of this run. Shoutouts to Gage. Alright, even though like this is supposed to be the easiest duet, I mean all of the duets are kind of finicky in their own way. It is kind of easy to fail them. I've done it many times. This one even I failed many times because sometimes the microphone doesn't like to work, but shout out to this guy's haircut too. I'm pretty sure his hair is supposed to look like a tree, like the canopy of a tree, which is just incredible visual design. I love how all the locomos are designed. They just kind of look goofy, but like in kind of in a good way. So those rolls are timed to the music. Oh, I tried to get the cool slash. Alright, and so next up is where we're gonna... This is where the run is gonna get very interesting. Slash, where also, like, the heart container is about to happen. So, Forest Temple's next. First dungeon of the game. It's just not that long of a dungeon, but... The cool thing is... At the end of it, there is the first heart container in the game. And again, this is, like, the only one you can possibly get first. You have to get this heart container before all the others. You just can't... There isn't another one available for this, so... Unfortunately, is the only good option, but... Yeah, this game has a very high quality soundtrack. I don't know. It's one of those things where I feel like this game's like music I haven't really gotten tired of, even after listening to it for like a very long time. This is honestly one of my favorite dungeons. It's a little RNG heavy, there's a lot of like little things, but it's also pretty technical, so it's pretty fun. There's a couple of these like little fights, and they're not too bad, but they can be a little random. It's hard to predict where the enemies... That one is easy, but the other ones can be a little difficult to predict where the enemies are gonna go. So that fog is a really big hitbox. So there we get the game's first like actual item. So we get the whirlwind. Yeah, playing this game, The emulator for this game is kind of rough. I don't really like playing with the mouse at all. It's harder to be precise. And also quick. Like, it's harder to do quick things with the mouse. With practice, you can get to pretty much a similar speed, but... Mini boss is fun. This Mothula he has exactly the health that one spin attack does. So, you literally just need to hit him once with the spin attack and he dies. Fortunately, you have to also wait for him to attack, which is RNG based. That wasn't the fastest. He can attack really quickly sometimes, and sometimes he just like likes to fly around for a couple minutes. Actually, I say minutes. Probably like a couple seconds. Like, maybe like 10 seconds of like flying around. It's not a good spot. No. Yeah, this puzzle's a little tricky because the spot where the blast storms fall is completely random. So, if they give you a bad pattern, you can kind of try and angle it out, but it's tricky. And for this, you can, if you go over like the direct path, like you see like those swirly tiles, you spawn these like floor masters, and it's not a big deal. They're not hard to deal with, but they do have a really long cutscene, and that cutscene does just make it slower to activate them. So you just walk the intended path. Alright, so this is the end of Forest Temple. I'm gonna heal. Don't want to die. So this is the first part. I'm actually gonna diverge from the route. If you talk to this Gossip Stone, he spawns a blue warp, this basically goes back to the beginning of the dungeon. And the reason I'm gonna do that is I was kind of lying saying this is a 1 heart container run, because this game has an interesting trick, which I'll explain kind of when I get there, but I did kind of lie in the marketing, so... Anyway, this is Stagnox. He's kind of annoying. Double hit. So yeah, the first phase is pretty easy. You couldn't get a quick kill there. I kind of messed it up, but yeah, first phase is nothing. The second phase is very cool though. So he's gonna shoot down these blast worms, and you're supposed to like shoot these back at him, but he shoots down 3, and these 3 act like bombs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and get them in a good spot, which that is not, but that should be fine. Cool. You'll see. There we go. So basically, what I wanted to do is I want to do 6 slashes, and then I want to slash the 2 bombs individually. And by doing that, bombs do a lot of damage in this game. So you can basically just get a 1 cycle on Stagnox, but it's really precise. If the sword tries to hit Stagnox again, then he'll like recoil. Like you basically need to make sure you only hit the bombs with your sword. So it's pretty precise, and the positioning is hard. So This is the end of the run, because this is where our container is. Except, I'm not gonna get it. I'm gonna save. Alright. There's a heart container. I'm gonna pause the timer for a second. So, we have our heart container. About 30 minutes. A pretty modest. So, for reference, I actually think the fastest you can do this. So there's a category that's just like this, which is a Forest Temple RTA. And Forest Temple RTA, the record is about 31:47, by myself. So that I can say probably about like a minute from this run, minute and a half. So that is not all I wanted to do with this though, because I was given the opportunity to do one heart container. But why not do all of them? Because this game has a trick, which now I'm gonna unpause the timer, where you can dupe the contents of any chest. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna erase the file. I'm gonna copy the file. So it's pretty precise, but if you do it properly and you time, it's a frame perfect input, but if you do it properly, you can dupe items in every chest in this game. So I want to get all 16 heart containers. Now this might take a minute because it's pretty hard, but that might have worked. But basically, if you go through the text really fast and then save, immediately save and quit, you can get it, and then the game won't actually update that the chest is opened, and then you can go back. So that's why I opened the blue warp earlier. That's why I wanted this. So I'm going to. So if I did this right, yes, I did. So you see, I have 4 hearts, but the chest is not opened. That's So yeah, this is a fun little strat. Now, again, this is really precise. It's frame perfect, pretty much. At least the pause input. So the reason I saved is because I want to get a backup file. Because in case this goes wrong, I want to have a backup. I'm going to wait now. Hold on. Yeah, actually, I'm going to quickly before I do this one. I messed up. I forgot how to route this. So what I want to do is I just want to make sure I have copies. So if I mess any of these up, then I basically have to restart the entire process. So I'm just gonna be copying my file like intermittently, so I don't have to like go back through a couple dupes if I miss one. So, because if I do miss a dupe, then it's like really bad. I pretty much just spam pause. You could time it, but it's kind of hard. Alright, so that one actually failed. So even though that one looked fine, it looked like the rest of them, I just didn't get the right input time. So, because I also saved, now this one I'm gonna have to copy over my file and redo this one. So there's also kind of a reason we don't do this strat in any categories. Like, Duping heart containers is slow and annoying. You have to go through like a lot of hoops to make sure you do it without any risk of like losing your chance at it. So that one definitely failed. So yeah, this may take a little while. Um, this is not going to be a fast process. So this game has 16 hearts, so I need to do this at least 10 more times. I don't think that worked. Yep, I'm duping. So it was actually a trick. I said it was one heart container, but I'm actually going to get every heart container. I'm gonna get all 16 hearts. Unfortunately, it's gonna take a minute because duping is slow. I don't know if that worked or not. I don't think it did, but yeah. No. See, the other unfortunate part about this trick is that it's frame perfect, but you also don't get to know if you got it or not very quickly. So no. It worked. Doesn't look like it did, but we'll try. Nope. Alright. So, in the interest of not doing this all day, because this might take a while, I'm gonna cheat. No one can stop me because this is my own run. I don't get something gonna go on a leaderboard. This game has, on the Wii U VC at least, you can make save states. You can make, well, I say save states, you can make a singular save state, which you can place at any point throughout the run. So, I'm going to make sure I get the trick properly, because I don't really want to be doing this all day, I'm just gonna cheat a little bit. I can make a save state here, and then if I fail it, I can go back. I think it actually worked, though. Rigged. Hey, duping's hard. The game is throwing at me a frame-perfect trick, I'm throwing back at it the mechanics that VC emulator gave me, so... Don't tell anyone. Just don't tell Miyamoto. He doesn't need to know. I showed you guys what doing it properly looks like. You can just pretend I did it properly the entire time. So instead of doing the whole copy shenanigans, I could just make another save state here. Also, thank God for these blue warps. Because if you didn't have these blue warps, then it would take like a really, really long time to do these resets. But thankfully, because the blue warps doesn't take very long. Also, you might be wondering, like, so when this save prompt is going, you don't actually need to sit through the entire save prompt for the game to save. You only have to sit through like the first couple like the first couple frames of the animation. Then you can just hit reset. So if he's like, when I do the save and quit, I basically just I reset almost immediately. It has this long animation, but it doesn't really need the entire long animation. Damn. Like, I think that might have worked, but like I can't. It's really hard to. So the other thing that's hard about this trick is it's hard to tell if it worked or not. Um, obviously if it's like a very obvious fail, you know it won't work. But there are times where like maybe one frame goes by and it's kind of hard to tell. Um, there is actually a method using the boomerang later on that you can throw the boomerang and then you can see if it moves, then it didn't work, and if it doesn't move, it did work. But like, but I don't have the boomerang right now, so I can't go with that method. That definitely didn't work. Might have worked. That one actually looked decent. Nope. That one definitely didn't work. That did look like the first frame. I don't know if the text smashing might have been a little too slow, but... You reset it again that fast. So if you hit LR start minus or plus minus, then it resets the game. So or if you just hit, this game has a reset button, so that definitely didn't work. So what I basically do with the Q is I let the little swirling ball around the text box, I let it like go out of view and then I hit the reset buttons. Alright, so 7 hearts, making progress. Almost on line 2. I don't think that worked. No, that's 9 hearts. Never mind. Counting is hard. Yeah, as you can clearly see, we have way more hearts than you're supposed to. At this point in the game, you're only supposed to have like 3 or 4 hearts. We're at 9. Don't think that worked. Darn. The text matching was slow, but the pause looked good. I think I can get this on definitely under an hour. Now, if I wasn't using save states, I definitely would not. I think this would take me a really, really long time, but... But I can't be bothered. Darn it. Don't think that worked, not gonna lie. That one, like, certainly worked. I'm very confident on that one. Yep. Alright, 5 more. Or, actually 4 more. 4 more dupes. No, that might have worked, actually. Right. No. I'm really struggling with this dupe in particular. Oh my god. Gonna get it. No. Ugh. My mashing timing is wrong. No, I don't think it worked. I keep missing the final text box. I think that worked. I mean, it might have not, but... Okay. This is the final dupe we need to do. Might have worked. Go with it. So yeah, this is the final dupe. So we're at 15 hearts. We need one more. So if the dupe worked, then we go back to the top, open the chest, and we have 16 hearts. And it didn't work, so sorry for the rage bait. That one looked good. All right. Hooray! That is 16 hearts in 50 minutes, 55 minutes with cheating. But shh, we don't have to talk about the cheating. The save states were just for quality of life. Theoretically, if I was not limited by my not wanting to do that, then you could obviously just dupe these properly without save states. But to save myself like an hour, I didn't want to do that. So anyway, here's the heart. Now,